Hey guys, what's going on? This is a crazy time. I scheduled this. I tried to even go later than what we were planning to before. I know another channel just went live with some stuff about Rose Bly. I don't know. I haven't got to listen to it, so I know there's going to be a lot of people over there watching that. But this one right here that we're going to do is very important because it's going to. If you didn't watch what we covered with Richard Honaker, he was a missing person that went missing in. I have the dates on my phone right here, so that I have on my phone. Huh? March. He went missing in March of last year, 2021, and they ended up finding his remains in August of this year, or no, February of this year. Sorry, got a lot of dates going through my mind. But the main reason and the important part of this is we're going to interview with the family tonight, and I'm going to let you hear just this. His case is very close to Hawkins County, and I just want to show you how local law enforcement has dealt with his case and how the family is kind of upset with that, and just give you kind of a better idea of how things have been done. I feel like that once you hear this, I don't think you'll necessarily believe that it was a fault by the end of it. That's why I titled this "Foul Play or Fall." It's a lot of crazy thing. We're going to show pictures. It's a lot of information, so we're going to try to get as much across to you guys as possible. I knew this was gonna happen. You see this? Because of everything that went on with it. So I guess the information that came out about Rose Bly is that another channel said they found proof that she's in witness protection.
Well, we don't know. That's just what we gathered from.
That's what I've gathered in the past just few minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I believe if you out somebody in witness protection that you're probably going to get in trouble. I don't think that was a good idea. I don't know, but I don't know the facts about it.
We will look into that.
We'll look
watch
into
all that
it
later, and we will get back to y'all with all of our thoughts on all that.
Hold on one second. So I got to send a link back to the family real quick. They lost connection. Give me just 1 second, okay? They'll give people time to get in here, and just if you're just now coming in, we're going over Richard Honaker's case, and we're going to be interviewing the family. And just I'll give you just a description real quick of some of the things that are upsetting. When they found him, his clothes were not tested for anything. They put him in a black trash bag and sent him back to the family. Wet, damp. They just kind of took it off of the remains. You'll see pictures of hedge trimmers, clippers that were left where he was found that weren't even gathered for evidence of any type. You're going to see this is crazy. It's going to blow your mind, and this is really going to it's really going to open your eyes to maybe what's been happening in other cases we've been covering in this area. So hold on 1 second. Let me send them this link again. There they are. They came back in. Let me pull them up here real quick.
Yes, him.
Are you guys good?
We're good, and we couldn't hear you, though. I thought it was my phone, but I believe now it was yours.
No, I had you in the backstage. I'm on my computer. I had to pull you back down from the backstage, and I was just telling everybody about what we were going to be going over. So give me what I was letting people get in here. I was trying to explain to them. So there's another channel that came out with some information, and I was talking about that, and that's might take away from what we're doing over here, but it's okay because they can rewatch it. Right, and this is important, and I don't care if there's 94 people in here, or 2 people in here, or 1,000 people in here. This information needs to be talked about. So, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. He's got it. He's simple showed it before. He showed it before. I didn't think it was my phone, but hell, I wasn't sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, let's start. Let me see some. Let me see my.
You gotta.
Okay, we just put this together at the last minute, guys. So I'm going to go over some key points. So I'll introduce you guys. Tell who you are. These are three people that are related to Richard Honaker, and I'll let y'all explain
Four.
who.
There's four of us.
Four of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony, his first cousin.
Okay.
Larry, his brother-in-law.
Okay.
Uh, Christina, his sister.
And
Oh.
Melissa, I'm his cousin too.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I mean, look. Thank you. This takes a lot of guts to come out and talk about this, and there's more people coming in as we go. So this will be good. This information needs to be talked about. So, where do you guys think it'd be important to start at?
Well, first, I just want to say I think it's important for not just Richard, but maybe the next person that disappears. Maybe
Right.
if we can't help him, maybe we can get the police to treat the next guy a little better.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or child.
You can start. Yeah,
Yeah.
or child. Well, yeah, or child, just whoever. They need to take it more seriously and do their job.
Exactly.
Leave their personal feelings at home.
Yeah, but you go ahead and start. You tell us what you want to know.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll do that. So I wanted y'all to kind of explain. So when Richard first went missing and disappeared, how was it treated in that area? So let's explain. Let me do this first. So Richard is from Southwest Virginia, which is I'm 45 minutes away from where Summer in that case is going on in Hawkins County. So they're probably about an hour and a half maybe away from there too. So this is all the same area. And I just wanted y'all to tell maybe just like how everything was, how y'all were treated, how the investigation went. Did they do what they were supposed to when like law enforcement? Did they do what they were supposed to when he was first reported missing?
No, sir. I asked for searches around his home, around the mountain, but 2 or 3 of his family members had to search the whole mountain by themselves and repetitively. And there was many tips gave that was never followed up on. I had a search crew out of North Carolina that was going to come. They got denied 3 times.
And the Ware Foundation, I'm sure y'all have heard of him because of the Gabby Petito case. He was working with me and talking with me about it the whole time. So he actually told the police department in a roundabout. He told them on their public Facebook page that the Virginia Department of Emergency Management was just waiting for local law enforcement to allow them to bring in their resources. And we couldn't beg anybody to search. Obviously, where he was found tells that.
That's what some people in the chat were asking just now. They said, "How was he found?" So, almost a whole year.
Well,
go ahead, Allison.
I think we need to start
11 months.
Talk about the circumstances of him going missing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
let's do that. That'd be better.
Because
for people who haven't,
some people probably don't know.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll start over at that, and let's tell. Just start at the beginning, everything and we'll go from there.
Okay, we'll just. I'll tell you a little bit, then his sister can tell you a little bit.
Okay.
He went missing on March the 14th. It was said that he walked away from his home, and just didn't come back. Just disappeared. So about 4 days later, his family went and they reported him missing. Our family did. His dad is who did that, and then I don't know. What else do you want me to clarify? Just
Well,
The family, the immediate family, was not notified that he was missing until about 3 days in. His wife finally came and told my mom.
okay.
And from there, that's when we started searching. The law enforcement didn't seem to care. They labeled him as just a druggie out here gone or running from probation, in which he was not violated.
Right.
Things of that nature. And I asked.
And he had changed his life, right? He'd been out getting out,
right.
he was working, and
Since
you know what?
2014.
Since 2014.
And his wife said she sort of thought those first few days, she thought that he might be with his mom or his sister or brother. So I think it's important to say that she told us that that's why she didn't contact us right away, because she thought that that he might be with his brother or his mom or somebody. But anyway, he had turned his life around. Richard was a one-of-a-kind soul anyway. We had his service the other day, and the pastor that done his service got up there telling about how they owned a local store, a furniture store, and they met a lot of little kids that come there on their parking lot on their bicycles, turn around. And he said, but there was just something about this little red-headed, blue-eyed boy with a gleam in his eye and an humble and meek demeanor that just it was different. He just became special. He became family. So
Right.
he went with them and delivered furniture. He was probably 10 or 11, right, Chris? 12. Okay. And he started from 12 years old working with them until he was about 21, maybe something like that, all the way up to he was grown. But anyway, the preacher talked about how he always had such a meek demeanor, and no matter how he was hurting on the inside, he always tried to make everybody smile. He had, he just was he had some problems. Everybody has problems, but he had turned his life around. He married a lady that had 2 kids. He loved those 2 kids. He was actually trying and begging to adopt them. One of them had some issues, special needs, and I have never seen no blood father be any better than he was to them. Like I've never seen anybody treat their own child any better. He was. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I saw that when Richard went missing, that the father of those children even put a video out. That was that touched my heart. That was awesome. I mean, because for another man that never even met him, that gave that kind of much respect from just what he had heard about Richard, that says a lot. And just because, I feel strong about this case too, because I have a past as well, and that's why I feel like everybody deserves, regardless of what you've done in your past, everybody deserves the chance or the same respect as far as if you go missing, for law enforcement to treat that case the exact same as they would somebody that is a millionaire that's never been in trouble.
Exactly. And that's the point here. That's what happened here was he didn't have money. He didn't come from an affluent family. So he was disregarded, just they can say for whatever reasons. There was really no reason. They just didn't care.
And Jacqueline J., the county is Tazewell County, Virginia. And it's not very far.
The only thing they did was post a post on Facebook, and that was it. I think they did come and stand at the bottom of the hill while y'all walked around on it, didn't they? A time or two, or maybe his other brother told me that. But other than that, that was it. They didn't.
He told us to search anywhere we wanted, and then when I did, he told me that he couldn't use, if it were any evidence, he couldn't use it because I had contaminated it.
Right. He told us to search, but if we found any evidence, he couldn't use it because we would contaminate it.
That's not, and that's so. I don't believe that, because if as long as you don't touch it, if you find it and report it, it's not contaminated, and that's craziness to me right there.
What's even crazier is not allowing organizations to come in and search that we're offering. That's what hurt me the most, and I'm guessing his sister too.
Yeah, that's. So Leah, let's talk about that. We're going to jump around a little bit, but almost a little over a year when they find him, a little less than a year. Was it over a year or
It was
less?
11 months.
11 months. Okay, so 11 months when they do find the search crews are let in. They found them within how long when they actually come in?
No search crews were let in, sir.
At all?
Told that it was
Two-
two hikers that found him.
Oh,
In
okay.
reality, it was two teenagers.
Yeah, it was two teenagers walking up a path on the hill right behind his house. You could, metaphorically throw a rock from his back door to where he was found. Literally. I mean, it was that
So
close.
what they found, they can't use either, right? Since they're just two hikers.
They
I'm
could have
just
used it. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying
that-
from what he told her. I mean,
Yeah.
that's basically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they didn't even get everything. They didn't even take everything that they found that was there.
Right. I'm give me just a second. I'm gonna pull up these pictures real quick because I think this. I mean, how you don't gather this kind of stuff for evidence, I will never understand. And I'll show, and I'm gonna pull those maps up, those pictures as well. Give me just a second. I'll download that to my pictures, and I can send them all over at once.
Okay. But yeah, it was the two teenage boys that found him, and they claimed they walked that path every day. I mean, for this whole time, they said they had always walked it, and he was right beside the path. They didn't know how he had not been seen already by them or anybody else.
You know, they
Wow.
said
Well,
alcohol.
why
That's their place to go and drink alcohol.
Yeah, the two boys said that was their spot where they went and sat and drank alcohol. So it was their sort of their sneaking place, their hangout. Yeah, and they were there often, so they didn't.
So so that your main thing is, and y'all's belief is that he hasn't that he when I show these maps that he probably wasn't in that spot that whole time.
No, he
Right.
was not there the whole time.
I don't think. Well, don't you think that his clothes might have been faded a little bit, or
Exactly, and that's what I want to get into. These are the
Um,
things I like the way this is going now because this right here is this. If you're, go into that a little bit while I'm pulling up
Well,
these.
if you're laying outside for a year on a hillside in the middle of town, where the wind blows a lot, it's very windy, and they claim there was bears and coyotes, and I know there's animals there, regardless of what kind.
Right.
Well, not only that, his sister and brother-in-law walked all over the hillside searching for him for the first 3 months, and they walked all over. His brother-in-law he said right on the tell him.
I've actually walked that mountain quite often. The tree that they supposedly found him on, I have took a seat to get a breather myself, and
Right.
The body was absolutely not there.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew
And you
up in the woods. I'm pretty good in the woods myself, as
Right.
was Richard.
Not only that, but
Just
but you would notice something like an odor. I mean, I hate to say that. That's a sad and more terrible thing to think about. But if he's walking all around him for the first 3 months and it's turning into summer, March, June, July, March, April, May, June, July, don't you think you would have noticed maybe an odor or, usually you can smell a rabbit on the side of the road for or buzzards.
I'm
Right.
quite
Exactly.
that, I would have noticed that body if it was there. Where they're saying that he was laying. Unfortunately, if he was laying there, then I probably stomped all over his face, And I'm not an idiot. There was no body there.
Well, and it's right in front of his sister's house. So every day she was stepping out on the porch looking for, what do they call them, buzzards or turkey vultures. Everybody was on high alert. If you've got a missing family member, your senses are heightened and you're paying attention. And I mean, I don't know how that's possible that a person could be there.
Well, these right here, I'm trying to show
Hold on,
these.
his sister's about to tell you something else.
Okay.
What? Okay.
Oh, I just, he was wanting me to speak on. I spoke to one of the teenagers that found my brother. He explained to me the condition that he was in. He said that there's no way in the world he fell. He was not there the day before. He told me how his body was laying. His top torso was 30 feet away from his bottom torso, and his leg was laying beside his head with a pill bottle.
Oh, gosh.
That wasn't wet. That was still fresh. So
So they're trying to say that this is conducive to a fall and that it ripped him in half pretty much. I'm sorry to say that, but to be
basically
that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, they didn't release that. This is what the guy that found this told him, and he was very detailed. Like I told his sister, I said, a young guy that age, it's very unlikely that he would think of these fine details. Like he said, as he was walking back down, he picked up his boot, and half of his leg was still in his boot, and like he compared it to deer meat as it dries out. But anyway, he said the officer said, "Don't do that, don't touch that," as he was walking back away. When he walked up and showed the police. That's another thing. They all walked up to him. And then his sister and brother-in-law walked down to where he was at. So if they can walk to it from both sides, then Richard spent his whole life out in the woods. He was the most avid outdoorsman you'll ever know. I mean,
and somebody said, well, animals can pull but for the clothes,
yeah.
This would be a better question. So was there any signs on the clothes when you got them back, even though in the bag that they had been ravaged by animals or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No, there was a couple signs of things, but it was absolutely nothing to do with an animal nor a fall.
No. And for the most part, his clothes were in fairly good shape, except for maybe 2 spots on his shirt that it sort of looked like maybe a knife or something was stuck in it. Put it that way. We don't really know, but aside from that, everything was intact. I think the animals would have drug his bones around. Pieces of him, and ate everything. And there was still maggots on his clothes.
Well, I got those pictures. See, I've got these pictures pulled up right now, and I don't know why the one with the I guess where it was sent from a phone, but this right here. If you guys can that are watching out there, what this is like hedge clippers that were found around this. They weren't even collected as evidence, correct?
Yeah, and they were his.
They were his, and they were even, oh my Lord.
Yeah, they were his. They were definitely his. Yeah, and he had carved his name in a tree right beside of him.
Yeah, so, I've got that here. Explain this picture right here.
That is a maggot. The clothes were covered in maggots. They still had live maggots after a year, and his clothes were not. That's his boots, so it's a little dirty. But he had kind of camouflage pants on. There was no sun fading, nothing. The sun.
Guys, I'm going to put this. So this is a trigger warning. I'm going to put this on the bottom, just in case it just bothers anybody.
Yeah,
out there watching. We're not trying to be insensitive here. We're just trying to show you guys that. How this, I feel like since I first started talking to, especially you, Melissa, and now Anthony and the other 2 family members I just talked to tonight, but ever since I've talked to you guys, my heart's really went out to you because I know from living here, and it's hard for people that aren't from around this area to understand how law enforcement around here will not go that extra mile to help people because it's like you're almost in a caste system here. They will brush you under the rug and not give 2 shits about you, to be honest. And that's terrible. And that's why I kind of brought that up when I talked about even in Summer's case with law enforcement there, because it's not uncommon here for people to, for cases not to be taken seriously. Yes, they had search and rescue come out, but that was a high profile case. and Summers.
They had to. They were forced to by
They were
public.
forced to. And then what was it? It was months and months and months before they come out there again in the same area and did anything.
Well, not only that, there's law enforcement from other areas that have contacted a couple, his wife and me, and they've told us, like, I've never seen such horrible, they said the first thing you do is begin to search from the inside out wherever someone disappears. And within a day, if he would have been there, if he was there, then within a day, we would have had our family member instead of for 11 months crying, begging, pleading with anybody to give us any information. But when other police officers, people that we don't know in town that are affluent people that do have like money and are in higher places are even calling us and telling us, I'm so sorry for the way your family's been treated. Now
Right.
that tells you that it's not just their family. I couldn't even tell you the amount of messages and calls I've got from people that I don't know that are just everywhere. I mean, they go between police officers to insurance agencies to school teachers, doctors, security guards. I mean, everybody. I mean, people. That's just to name a few that have
Well,
called.
look, this person here in the chat says, I live in Northern Virginia now, but grew up in Southwest Virginia. I know exactly what you're talking about. So people that are from here know, and I'm glad that I have people that can vouch for this area. It's a different world here. People don't understand. East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia is not the same as the rest of the United States. I promise.
It ain't. I lived in South Carolina for several years, and it's really definitely changed.
Yeah,
And it's go ahead.
This is off topic, but I just thought about it. A couple family members in the beginning, instead of talking to us and helping us, were threatened with charges.
Yeah, for trying to look. Yeah, we're told if you continue trying to look, if you continue going around and asking questions, if you continue this and that, then we will get you for obstruction of justice, obstruction of investigation. But where we're
because
sitting,
you wanted answers
because they weren't.
and
because they weren't looking. Yeah,
that's right.
I was threatened to the point I went to my lawyer.
Yeah, his sister. Yeah,
that's a good move too, because once you have an attorney and they know that they're not going to run all over
well,
you.
we're scared. Like right now, we're scared. If they see this, we have a target on our back, and we know that.
I'm going to keep promoting this to get it out. If just because there's distractions now out there, we're going to keep talking about this because I think it needs to have some bigger eyes come in and look at what just is going on around here. Because when I think I heard from, well, I've been trying to encourage Richard's wife to come on and do an interview too, but I think what they were trying to say is that they even tried to, I think she had told me at one point in time that they had came to her, law enforcement came to her to try to tell you guys that it's just a fall, quit asking.
3 of the bodies.
Is that
there's a big point that we forgot about, which is hard to believe we forgot, is that within the last 3 weeks they found 3 other bodies of people that were missing within a 20-minute radius, and they're all 35, 36-year-old men, 3 men and 1 girl that was actually living as a male, were found. Right. And one of them was about 50 foot from Richard.
That's this right here is the big point, guys. That if y'all are listening, so not only did they find him where they found him, and I've got maps that go on the next picture, but when they found him, another person was found, would you say 50 feet from him?
Roughly.
So he was this other person was supposed to have fallen down the same hill.
Yeah.
And at this,
it was actually about 50 yards, and it was a path. This one was found on was a bigger, more frequently used path, and it had a little stream of water and rocks and things, and that's where he was found, on top of the rocks. And he was never recognized, never mentioned to the public, nothing.
His aunt told us about it.
My gosh.
And his name was Ray Nesbitt. Since law enforcement doesn't want to put it out there.
Yeah, everybody
I
has
don't
a
mind
name
to.
in the story.
Yeah, that's fine, and we'll start looking into his too, if it need be. And I'll tell you what too. And I talked to Anthony about this the other day. Y'all don't get scared from them, because I'm gonna start calling them and asking questions too. Because when media, even if it is social media, that's what if you see they don't. I feel like when there's things to hide, they want to say we don't need social media involved. We don't want them involved. We don't want you talking about it. Y'all are just causing problems. But yet on cases like the missing little girl, Carly Trent out of Hawkins County, they encourage the public to come out and be a part of her search and do this. But then when they, on Summer's case, we don't want nobody's help. And then then nothing's ever found. And it bothers me. And that's, you guys, I'm going to talk, I'll start calling them and I'll start asking questions, and we'll try it. I mean, I can only do so much, and they don't have to tell me anything, but I mean, we can aggravate them and say we're going to put it out there, because Richard deserves justice just as much as anybody does.
Absolutely.
Right.
My mother, his mother has pretty much been in the bed, just dazed out since, and still can't really accept it, because, and especially nothing's been done about it when we pretty much know who done it and what happened. And I don't care to say it. I've been to prison for about 7 different wires I was on. And, this people told that they wore a wire on the same dude 4 to 5 times, different people. He admitted to it. However, the law enforcement believes his story. He said that he did say he admitted to it, but he didn't do it. He just wanted people to be scared of him. And they're going with that. How do you slide wires under the rug?
And she's turned her life around too.
Right, and that's what we're saying. People can change, and people, when you get in the system around here, it's almost like, and I can vouch for this too. They don't leave you alone. That's who they want to stay. That's who they want to keep pounding on. They want you to stay in that revolving door.
They don't want you to change.
They don't want you to change, because that's money racket. That's all it is.
If everybody changed, they wouldn't have a job.
They wouldn't have it. Yeah, exactly. So they pick on the ones. They don't look at the ones that are really doing it. They pick on ones that get something in trouble for something petty, and they keep going after them. But that's not what. And that I know that's. And that, I mean, I'm passionate about that because where I come from too. But go ahead.
Well, something else I was going to say is, even if it was an accident, and I'm just saying if, I don't believe that. I will never believe this was an accident. I know Richard, and I know that he could survive better off the land than he could in a house almost. And I know that I could probably tuck my head between my knees and roll down the hill they found him on and still be alive. I might have a few scratches. But even if it was an accident, you want to know that your family member did get the due diligence of an investigation and what they deserve. At least let's make, if I seen that they had done everything they could do, like they would have done if it was their child, then that would be a different situation all the way around,
Right. Well, you've got people, and we're not going to go into details about this, and I'm not, because I don't want to do that yet, but you got people that were recorded, right, on certain, like on phone calls and saying a penal system that were saying admitting to certain things, right?
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yes. One is a guy that our cousin lived with called from jail and told us repeatedly that he was deceased and that we would never find him. Then he would jerk us around and try to tell us a few little places that maybe some of his belongings were there. I mean, we actually did find something that they thought might have been his hammock. But anyway, and then a girl called me and met up with me to tell me that she recorded the guy telling her that he beat him to death with a walking stick. And what it all boils down to, my belief is that Richard, they thought that he had his tax returns and that stimulus maybe, and they just
robbing.
Yeah, that's my thought. That's just you know, yeah, that's sort of what's been said over and over is that was what the cause for it all.
It almost makes you think, and I hate this. I don't want to be insensitive to saying this, but it almost makes you think when law enforcement has the information that they got, like even like those recorded phone calls and stuff like that, it's almost like they're saying, "Well, good riddance, better off one less we don't have to worry about."
Yes.
And that's
yeah, and also a guy that was in jail came home. So they said that he was trying to get out of jail, but he came home from jail and called him and asked him to talk to him and told him that he was in the cell with them two boys while they were in there describing what they did to Richard down to, and he said, he wouldn't even listen to me. He said he just sat there in my living room and listened to what I had to say and said, they're just trying to look tough, and walked out, basically.
didn't even get God Almighty.
That's ridiculous.
And this guy was one of the ones that helped solve the Pizza Plus murders.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, the guy. Okay, if y'all aren't familiar with that, there was a owner of a Pizza Plus in this same area. There was a guy and his wife owned a Pizza Plus, and the son actually had killed the parents and made it look like it was somebody that came in and did it. They found out how many years later?
I think it was like
7 or 9 years.
They had to bring in a guy from a man from Roanoke that was really good at the read technique, and within his first interview, he got the boy to confess that he was in line to get a whole bunch of money, and so he killed his mom and his dad.
Right.
He slit his mom's throat and his dad's throat. Horrible. He did them horrible.
Yeah,
He put them in the garbage.
Yeah, did he put them in the dumpster?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the dad was outside there like that, but the mom was still inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And anyway, I think he got hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wouldn't want to say exactly because I wouldn't want to tell you wrong.
His girlfriend actually told it first.
His girlfriend told, the guy who told us this called him and told him some information. And because there's actually a murder come to town about it. And this guy, they mentioned it on that. That's how I knew that. And anyway, his girlfriend, they brought her out of jail, and she finally told what she told on him.
So are you saying the investigator that's looking into that was in charge of Richard's stuff was over that too?
No, that was the county.
Oh, okay.
That was the county.
No, we were just saying the guy that was in jail and was told all the information, and he tried to report it. That's the same guy that helped with that case, but yeah, they wouldn't believe him.
But he's not credible on this one. What?
Right. Well, and he was trying to get out of jail, except I've got the messages that I've screenshotted everything and kept everything. He said that he'd come to his house after he got out. And
have y'all contacted mainstream media about this?
No, we don't know what to do. We've never been in this type of situation.
Well, that's the sad thing is that somebody asked in the chat about that, and the reason I asked that too is because there's a big connect. They won't cover some things if law enforcement doesn't want to talk about it. They will contact them instead of running with the story, because it all has to be filtered through the higher ups, and that's not right. Everybody's case should be, all the details should be put there. And if they're saying, "Hey, this is just a fall," then why can't we have all the case information? Why can't we have all that? Because if it's just a fall, then all that shouldn't be hidden, right?
Right. Well, on a death certificate, they have like 4 lines that at least 3 should be filled out. Potential causes of death, right?
One is the first one is the cause of death, and the second 2 are called contributing factors.
Yeah,
that's what they're called.
Okay. Well, nothing whatsoever was put but a fall in the woods. They put no estimated time, no estimated date, absolutely nothing on that death certificate.
Blunt force trauma to the head, and blunt force trauma to the torso.
So tell me how he could have fallen and hit both his head and his torso.
Well, I don't know. The same way, I guess he fell and ripped his body in two.
Right, exactly. Like that, it just doesn't make any sense.
And this is not funny.
His
Like,
leg off.
this
Yeah.
is we normally would be crying every time we're trying to get this conveyed, because you need
No,
somebody.
this takes a lot right here, guys,
It
and
does.
it takes a lot for y'all to be able to sit and talk about it like this, because
Well,
it
takes
sounds like it's angry more.
Right.
Yeah, I would be angry.
It takes
I'm
a lot.
very
for
angry.
all to
You go
come
from
out and
sad
talk
to
about
angry.
You know, I've excuse me, tried to get an appointment with the Commonwealth Attorney twice, and I've talked to the lady. She's supposed to call me back. She's never called me back. It's like nobody will talk to you.
That's what
So,
the funeral home pamphlet said. If you don't agree with the findings, to contact the Commonwealth Attorney. So
That's okay. That's awesome. And look, I want to hold on. Let me click over to this, and I'm gonna go over, make sure we don't. This is one of the pictures y'all sent me. So, can you want to explain that one? Can you see it?
me, you want us to explain it?
And I've got a bunch of them, one after another. This, maybe let me see which one. Just tell me.
Okay.
The green marker
The
here.
round thing. Okay.
Okay.
The red marker is where Richard lived.
Okay.
There's a big water tower right there, a round thing you can see. And
Right
then
here.
there's some trees and some wooded area that's sort of on a downhill slope right there. And that's where he
Yeah.
was found, is in that area, not exactly right there, because he was more at the, like if you're looking at that water tower, they said he was at the 12 o'clock point. They say from
Okay.
looking at it the way you're looking at it on there, it would be at the 15 till 12 mark, would be where he was.
But still, I mean, that right there is not. This is his home, and then this is where he's found.
Yeah.
And they're so a year. Okay, you're telling 11 months it took them to find him right there.
Yeah.
And if that's where he.
Not to mention they had offers to look. They didn't even have to do it. They didn't have to do it. The Ware Foundation had the VDEM ready to do it, and Chris had the National Exploited.
National Endangered.
Exploited. It's one of those National Missing Exploited Endangered Adults. Yeah.
Right. And so this is the path he traveled, just in between two family from his house family, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. He traveled down that path daily, every day. He cut one of the paths. I'm not sure which one. And then his family member lives directly in front of it, where there's another green mark.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying, that they would have been looking out their door every day at this hillside.
Yeah.
For buzzards and that type of thing.
Well, it didn't. So this is something I feel like this is important, and y'all tell me if you don't want me to say it or not. But about the letter that was put on the tree.
If he would have been there, I think his wife would have saw it when she hung
when did she go hang that?
Whenever, maybe a week or so after, maybe 2 weeks, about 2 weeks after he disappeared, she goes out there because she knows he goes out there and sits and just cuts weeds and it's just he loves the outside. That's what he's always done. Every picture, if you got those videos that I sent you, he's fishing, he's doing something like that. So anyway, she took a letter and had it, what is that called when you laminated, and wrote on it, "Richard, if you come here, please come wake me up, let me know you're okay," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was found. If she would have turned around and walked forward, he would have been right there. So he probably wasn't right there. She would have saw him.
Well, how many feet was he from that tree? Or
from
about 30 feet.
30
That's
feet.
what the guy that found him said, about 30 feet.
Yeah, that's what the boy said. The boy that found him. So I just don't think that and even if somebody didn't see him because, okay, he had camo on, think about the signs after somebody passes away in the heat, and if you're living that close to it, well, everybody I think has probably drove by a rabbit on the side of the road or something,
Right.
There are other signs of body.
Well, that's another thing. There's a road right below where he was, and during the fall, especially, all the leaves that fell off of the trees, so you can see, and someone should have been able to see from that road.
Well, in all the trees. I don't think he could have fell through all the trees.
No, he couldn't.
If you've got that other picture, Cam,
It's like a moral bed.
of that, yeah, you've got that other picture where I sent you just today with the hillside. It's got all the greenery, the trees.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I could. Let me pull that one up. This somebody asked in the chat just now, and I thought this is a good question. She said, "I just came in. Are you saying a hospital morgue didn't do the autopsy, or?"
No, they sent him to Roanoke, which is the capital, not the capital, but the
Where's
I don't
the
know.
medical examiner?
the medical examiner. It's the nearest medical examiner.
Then
Okay.
if we don't agree, we can have him sent to Richmond.
Yeah,
for
Richmond to
free.
the capital. I'm sorry.
And, the wife told me that she had spoke to law enforcement about it, and he told her that it would cost about 10 grand, just so she would leave it alone. And then we were informed it would be free.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I didn't mean capital. I meant the medical examiner. That'd be the
Yeah, I got it.
with that type of thing. But yeah,
Okay.
then they said you could send them to Richmond, which is the capital.
So I'm gonna just go over this real quick before I. So these are the points you sent me, and if you just came in, if people just came in and are listening to this, so they didn't examine the clothes. They were sent back to the family in a black trash bag, still damp or wet. I don't. So how long was that after? I talk about that a little bit because I think that's important. People need to know about that.
The clothes, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we got the clothes once he went to no, I'm lying. I went to the funeral home. We made arrangements, his wife and I, and then he calls one day and tells us to come pick up his clothes. So we went and got his
and
clothes.
his remains.
No, it wasn't
That
same
is
day.
the same day.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. I was with y'all. Yeah. Y'all went and got she went and got the stuff out of his wallet out of his pockets one other day.
We have pictures you probably don't have. It wasn't long after that they sent her everything that was in his pockets except for his wallet. And all the pictures I have wrote on it what it is. One thing in particular is a dental flosser, a toothpick dental flosser, and it looked kind of new if you wiped a little bit of dirt off, and it was not broken.
Just a little teeny, but it's.
He had a knife, a can skull, change, stuff like that. That was normal.
Yeah, everything was still in basically the condition it would be if you walked outside and fell asleep and it rained, and the next day, you're just a little wet and a little dirty, but still.
And,
Go ahead.
His pants that he had on, they were camouflaged, and the day that we went and received the clothes from the funeral home, I just happened to have on the exact same camouflage mossy oak pants. I had got mine sometime last year during hunting season. Been wore a couple times. Been wore a couple times through the summer, and mine was faded, and he laid out there supposedly for 11 months straight, and his mossy oak pants were brand new,
and
darker than mine. Made mine look like they were 20 years old.
I also have pictures of that. His both the pants beside of each other. I actually blew that up and saved it, so you can see the difference. And
well, this somebody asked Okie Dokie said, was it River Road on River Street that he was located at?
It was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody else said, and I want to Cat. Her name is Cat Lover in the chat. She said, I wish I would have went over the basics of this case. We have went over the basics case on other videos, but what I'm trying to do is I wanted to bring out these if y'all want to go check that out, I'll try to, if one of the mods can throw the link to that video.
We have two actually.
We actually have two of them. We've talked about this. And
Well, 3.
yeah, 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so, and I'm not going to, and we're not going to stop talking about it till I feel like that they've done everything they can do. Justice. Yeah. And so this is.
Actually, we have a playlist on our channel of videos with him.
Yeah, we have
It's
a
in
playlist.
so
yeah.
you can easily find them.
Yeah, what's the playlist for him? So
the first one says missing Monday, and it says Richard Honaker under it because I've sent it to so many people that I know how it's labeled. It says Richard missing Monday, and it has his name underneath it. Then it says some more about Summer Wells, and I love Summer, and I wanted to find her, but people just wasn't paying no attention at that time to Richard because they weren't, really concerned about her.
That's kind of what's going on tonight too with this, and then we would.
Did you say they found Rose?
So what another channel said that they had proof that Summer or that Rose was alive and well in witness protection. I don't know. I haven't got allegedly. I don't know. I haven't got to watch it all yet, but I feel like if you put somebody out there that's in witness protection, you're probably gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, you are. Well, and if they're like me, they'll go back and watch it in a little while. They might not watch right now, but they'll go back. Summer Wells' aunt disappeared. Also, the little girl Summer Wells that's missing, her brother-in-law doesn't know. Went missing in Hawkins County, and her parents have sort of been suspected by a lot of people, and then a lot of people don't. It's real controversial, and a lot of people are worried about the little girl. She's so cute, but anyway, it turns out her aunt disappeared. Her mom's sister, the exact same way. 25 years ago? Is that 20 years ago or something?
2009, I think. I don't have all my stuff in front of me right now, but she disappeared from Wisconsin without a trace. They still haven't found anything on her. The reason that tonight everybody jumped on and went live because another channel came out and said that they found out that the aunt is alive and well in witness protection, and that I don't know. They're going to have a lot of receipts to back that one up. But
yeah,
it's this with Summer Wells case right now. If you do any other case right now, everybody's on Summer Wells, and it's good for Summer Wells, but it's bad for all these other cases because everybody's case is important.
It's really not good for Summer either because most people are so focused on the parents that they're not really focusing on Summer. I mean, that's a fact. I followed real closely for a long time, and I sort of backed off because I got tired of hearing about Dawn and Candace. I wanted to hear about Summer. I want to know where she's at. I'm not too concerned about them anymore.
Mama Bear just said that supposedly the lady they are saying is Rose had been checked by LE and it's not Rose.
Okay,
that's interesting to me. But Dawn and Candace. Do y'all still think Candace is completely innocent?
I've never this. Okay, let's be careful there.
Okay,
I never said that she's completely innocent. I tried to be fair and not crucify them.
Innocent until
I want to until proven could get that everybody has a due process, and just there's no evidence yet. But I do believe that she might know something that she ain't telling everybody. She's come out here recently lying her butt off about stuff, and I've been calling her out on it because that's the fair thing to do. But I mean,
well, that's why I liked y'all so much because y'all did give everybody that you did want to give them. I think that's a good thing about y'all that you.
Well, you have to. You have to because if the public opinion is used to convict people without evidence, then we're all in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's what, and then you have a case like Richard's here and they don't even care to even look into it. And that's, so what's going on? There's just,
I can't emphasize enough about what type of person Richard was because people just wouldn't believe it. But I could actually send you a piece of the service and the pastor could tell you he said this pastor was blessed 20 years ago. He said, 20 years ago, I was blessed not by a visit from Jimmy Swaggart, not by a visit from somebody else, not from by a visit from Jesus, but by a visit from a little red-headed, blue-eyed redneck.
Oh,
And he said, you know, he just is telling about how meek and humble he is, and how he just wanted to make everybody smile no matter what he was going through. And like those two kids he was raising, I remember being at family dinners, and we were at his service, and I looked over and saw the one that has some issues, and he was obviously really nervous. He's autistic, and I said, Richard, if Richard was here, he would want to go over and check on him. He would want to go make sure he wasn't nervous. So I made my little girl go sit down with him, because I thought about Richard being at our family dinner one time and saying, I can't let the boys feel uncomfortable, you know. He wanted to make sure that they felt completely comfortable. He worried about them being made fun of in school. He was just,
wow.
you know, and that's not his kids, but they are in his mind. They were his. He didn't.
Well, just because people have problems and have addictions and stuff in life does not mean that you're just a bad, rotten person.
Well, right, and at this point in his life, I think he was only just when he got home from work in the evenings. He's always worked, like I said, since he was 11, 12 years old,
Right.
and he was drinking maybe 2 twisted teas or something every now and again. They said when he got home from work, and that was
Oh Lord, don't say twisted teas.
Oh yeah, I know, but he wasn't even drinking like drunk, you know, just 1 or 2 of those at the worst, you know. So he was really.
That was because they the twisted tea
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
with the sober K. That's the reason I said that. But
I remember they gave you a hard time that time because they said you was slurring or something.
oh yeah, me too. I'm supposed to be on twisted teas too, I guess.
It's
But
okay.
no, Katharija in the chat right here. She said, "My brother was murdered in 1993 at the age of 37 in Oklahoma. Same story. Ellie didn't care. No one was ever arrested, and I hope Richard gets justice on earth. But if not, God knows all justice is coming."
Amen.
That's true.
Thank you, and I'm so sorry about your brother. I wish that he could get his justice due, and I feel for you because we know. I mean, especially his sister right here because cousins.
Exactly. Y'all again, y'all are very strong for coming forward and talking about this, and we're gonna keep doing it. And Alicia, if you're listening, I encourage you to come up and talk about it too. It's just gonna help find justice for him.
Yeah, so I think she said she was going to. She had
Okay.
accident with her house today, so she's trying to take care of that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I hope everything works out for her. I'll try to get some of these people that are saying some things for y'all, just so y'all see how much people are caring. They said, she said, Karen Lee said, I was tweeting the Aware Foundation missing poster for Richard Honaker for a while. Let's see. I saw some good ones. This person, Katie, she said, this case is bananas. It really is.
it is. And it's
and
even worse if you're living it.
Oh
I
gosh.
can't even imagine.
No, I can't either. And I mean, it must be like the Twilight Zone when you think, because we all grow up. Well, who's the people that we're told that are safe to talk to and are going to protect us? It's law enforcement, doctors, people like that. But then when we get older, we see that those are the people sometimes that you're like, what? Well, you're supposed to help me. Why aren't you helping me?
Well, it's sort of like too here. It's like if you do something wrong, they're going to beat every door. They're going to go under everybody's house. They're not going to stop until they find you. And like right now, we're probably their least best friend, But
Right.
But if they arrest us, then at least everybody in the world will know why. We've got proof of why they're doing. But anyway, it'd just be because they wanted to harass us because of this. But and then if you're missing though, and when you turn around and need them, and you're not in trouble, and you've become a productive member of society, like we have, all of us, none of us do anything, against the law. We're all living within the law now. Like I said, some people have troubles, but anyway, when you become a productive member of society, they're not going to help you.
They don't want to accept it either. They're always looking at you out of the like side eyeing you, and I understand, and that's not.
Well, and they know it. They really know it. It's such a small town that they would know if we weren't. They would know if we were living back doing things bad because they know everything. It's just a really small town.
They know everything, but yet they know nothing on this.
Right. They all
Yeah.
know. The investigator, when he saw me, he knew. He said he could tell I looked good and was doing good or something to that effect. So they know that you're doing good and not doing things wrong.
Right.
They're
He said
they just don't
somebody,
care. They care when you're in trouble and they don't care when you need them.
that's right.
Yeah.
Somebody said it sounds like the pills was a plant.
Absolutely.
Well, then pills
Wow.
would have dissolved.
Good point, Patty.
Yeah, they would have dissolved within that year, I believe.
Exactly. That's.
I mean,
2 beer cans would have rolled off the mountain.
yeah, and
And pills.
I blushed up in my prescription in my pants pocket before, and let me tell you, I just caught it right away, and there was nothing left in there. It was
Right.
gone. So one time I washed a purse and had some in it and forgot it, and there's nothing left. So a year, it would be gone.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it, and if I really should, but yeah, actually I should. Someone very close to Richard, the people suspected that she had information, so they gave her a horrible lethal dose of meth. And somewhere in her mind, she was able to call 911. Had she not made it, she would have died. Okay.
Say that again now. I'm sorry. Say that again because I was.
She's
No, I
telling
want
you that a girl who they were pretty sure knew what happened to Richard.
Yeah.
These guys,
They
these
hot
same
shot her.
guys, they gave her. Well, I don't even think she shot it, did she? I think she ate it or something, snorted it or ate it. But anyway, she realized that she was dying, and so she called 911. And when she got there, she told them they tried to kill me because I know that they killed Richard.
Oh my gosh.
And,
But while she was at the ER, she told them who killed Richard, and the law enforcement didn't believe it because she was intoxicated. 4 or 5 months later, after she was clean, went through rehab, all this stuff, they still didn't believe her.
mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Wouldn't take her statement, nothing. Just because, she's on meth, she don't count,
But she was scared. She thought that that's why and she's probably right. That's why they did it to her, because they knew she was a weak link, I guess.
He told her to get out of the area they was trying to kill her.
Yeah, and she left. She's not been back here. She's been gone.
My Lord.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is my opinion, and I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I don't know if I should say it or not, but my opinion about I feel like the corruption around here goes really, really high up, and I feel like certain people get a pass on things, and certain people don't. And if they don't want you to talk about something, and I have my reasons for saying, because I know people that have been pretty deep in there with some big people, and it's scary. It's very scary, and the only way to really protect yourself and people from it is to talk about it, because if you're out there talking about it, then they know that you're out in the spotlight, and they can't touch you that way. And I don't want to scare anybody by saying that, but it's just.
That's a good point, because there's a lady who is in the political arguments all the time in town, and it's not even about this; it's about political things, and she's always talking about the police department, and they never bother her. And the other day, they even took a picture of her with her child in the front seat of the car, not in a booster seat, and they won't bother her, I guess, because they know she's going to broadcast it. So that is a good point. Maybe it is a good thing to just tell everybody.
It is. I mean, because the more you're quiet about it, they can get away with doing anything, and then you're gone, and then you can't speak up for yourself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, if that makes sense, guys, I don't want to. Okay, we're right at an hour and 4 minutes. Anything else, y'all? Is there any other important thing? We're going to do this again, and we can do it. We can do it again this week if you want to. Let all this other craziness that's going on YouTube die down a little bit, and we'll hit it again.
Yeah, we've talked too much anyway, but yeah, we will get more prepared also.
Is there anything else? Like, go ahead. Ben.
We're gonna keep his name out there, and we're gonna do everything that we can to make sure that he gets justice.
Yeah, and we will, and we're on your guys' side. If we can do anything to help, I'll even reach out to mainstream media if I can. I've actually got a pretty decent relationship. Well, I did with Ansley Daniels from WJHL, so I can maybe talk to her, see if we can get that, figured out. And I'm going to put all these pictures together, and maybe I'll make a video, and just to get the points in order, and just the whole case from beginning to end. I want to give Alicia, Richard's wife, a chance to speak too so we can get both sides, and then we're going to go and we'll talk about it that way. I think that we can get everybody together. Maybe we can get some answers for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We started to go up there today while y'all were on the phone, but like I said, her trailer had a little fire in the side of it today, and so she was trying to get I don't know, the stove, something happened, so she was trying to take care of that. So just to so she wasn't like copping out or nothing. She
right. I don't think she was. I know she's been going through some stuff too. If y'all are interested even with this, we might come down and do an interview with y'all live or something. We'll bring our camera stuff, and we'll set up and we'll talk, do one like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you more pictures, like the things that was in his pockets.
Yeah, I'll get some stuff together and send it.
The actual clothes, I have pictures. I'll get everything ready for next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'll get the messages from the guy who called him and tried to tell him, and but I'll crop his name out and
just one thing really
just things like that.
To me is one boot. The bottom of it was so clean, like it hadn't even walked on, and the other one had sludge mud on the heel of it, which is nowhere near the type of dirt on this mountain.
I seen a picture of the boot. Did you show him the picture of the hillside where he fell there?
I couldn't find it. It didn't come through.
It's the first picture I sent you on your text messages, and that right there goes a long ways to showing you how it's just not.
Are you talking about way back?
No, just after today. It was today.
I didn't get that one. All I got was slippers, the boots, and tree.
Oh, Anthony said he emailed it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It's in the email. I'll pull that up real quick.
Yeah. I mean, there is some bad parts on that hill, but this wasn't one of, not the worst, but this wasn't one of them bad parts. Yeah.
Exact place that they tried to say he was. I climbed it from top to bottom just because law enforcement said that it was impossible. So I'm just an old redneck country boy, and all I had was my telephone and a machete, and I made it from top to bottom, but nobody could climb.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's all these pictures. Wow. Okay, let me share this stuff. Anthony, you did send me a lot.
Yeah. We've learned to be investigators. That's what they actually made a joke and said we were trying to be investigators. I said, well, somebody has to,
Exactly.
Somebody's got to do something.
That's right.
Can you bomb me out if they come to get me?
Like the less they can do to you.
Yeah.
Because
they're not going to do nothing to you. They don't. How can it be obstruction when they're saying it's a fall?
Well, and it's freedom of speech, and you're allowed to have your opinion.
Exactly right.
You're allowed to have your opinion. And if it was their brother or their son, like I've seen them post pictures of their baby, their son, and stuff on there that's actually grown. And I think if it was yours, would you feel like you did everything that you would want? I mean, ask yourself that. And I realize you got a job and you can't just stop your job, but are you doing for him what you would want to be done for your child?
Kid? Yeah, exactly. So this is triple antibiotic ointment. This picture, is this something they found on him?
In his pocket. Yeah, it was in his pocket.
In his pocket. Okay. And then there's another picture. Let's see. Okay, this one here. Okay. covered in dirt. So this is,
That's the backside of it.
of his
and
thighs.
so this is supposed to be from him falling. It got this messed up and dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was in
it's
his
in his
pocket.
pocket.
Against his skin. That's
Yeah.
the backside of it.
Yeah, it was in his pocket against his skin. So.
And
What?
You'll see the front side in a minute.
But his pants didn't even look that dirty, did they? Not as bad.
Oh,
as
here's the toothpick. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Not
wipe
even-
the dirt off, you know?
Hell, yeah. If he had fallen, you would have thought that would have broke or something.
or laid there for a year, you'd think it might have, I don't know.
Faded.
Yeah, something would have drug it around.
breaking
Or, I just feel like there'd been some animal activity too, but there wasn't any.
Yeah, that's the front of the knife. It's
No.
still in perfect shape almost.
Wow. Yeah, this
Yeah.
blows my mind. Let me see what.
We could keep blowing your mind, but
I guarantee it. Let me keep going there.
Anthony said
That's
you ain't seen the
that's
best.
just change right there.
Okay.
Quarters and stuff.
How are they that dirty in his pocket?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess, but I don't. It's almost like he was in mud or something.
Well, and his clothes weren't even as bad as the stuff in his pockets, though.
Yeah, see, that's.
If I showed you the pants,
think
you would never think none of that came out of those pockets.
Well, and his body was separated. I think they said his dog tag was still on. His dad's dog tag was still on his neck, wasn't it? Or was it in his wallet?
It's in his wallet. That's
Okay.
missing.
Yeah, his wallet didn't come back. Everything else did.
They didn't send his wallet back.
Oh, and his book back.
Wallet on
the only
him.
Yeah,
They sent
definitely.
book back.
He had the card, like I told you, for the taxes and things in his wallet. That's what I think. That's what I think he was after. Stimulus and taxes.
Was any money spent on it?
No, they didn't. Nobody else.
Absolutely, somebody forged his name and got some
Whoa.
money off that.
Yeah.
If anybody would check, I'm pretty sure that after he went missing, there was probably some money spent on that account. So you tell me.
Yeah.
Well,
they didn't
forged his name. Like a week after.
It was a phone call.
It was just a phone call. Somebody made a phone call and tried to act like they were him.
Whoa.
I feel like that says a lot.
That does say a lot. Yeah. That's, oh my gosh. Here, let me go over to the next one real quick. Next picture. That's that toothpick again, front of the knife. Okay, can of snuff.
Yeah, I think it's the back side of it. It's a kayak or something.
Yeah. Let's change again. Bottom snuff can. There's a knife again. That shows that's a kind of better picture there. Let me see.
Yeah.
All right. So they didn't send. So the wallet, you don't have it.
Did you not get the heels? No. The wallet in his backpack. He had a backpack with him. According,
No, I went through all of them. I still don't have the healing though.
Well,
it's okay. We'll put it together, guys.
Wait.
Some of these didn't load. I don't think. Let me see if they did.
Scroll back a little bit.
Yeah, some of them didn't.
Oh well, then when I click on them, they're loaded. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you didn't get it. I'm pretty sure I sent it in your text messages.
Yeah, I don't have it there either. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, I'll send it to you. We'll get things together a little better. This was
I do have the picture now here of the tree where he carved. I want to show that real quick.
Carved his family's name in it.
Yeah.
His wife's, the kids.
Initials,
I think he carved his wife and his kids' initials and his.
Okay, let me send this to my email. Yeah, like I said, we'll put
Well,
it.
and
I'll put it.
that picture shows you a little bit about how the trees and stuff are and how the hillside look. You know how it looks.
That's why I was gonna pull it up there. I was like that because I saw that it's kind of on a slope there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not that steep though, is it?
No.
No.
No. Like I said, the police walked up to it and y'all walked down to it, didn't you?
Why is it not letting me
we
click
drove
on that?
many of them in the rain and in the mud and in the heat. It didn't matter. There was a
Okay, I'm
homeless
gonna
man there.
do what?
There was also a homeless man that lived on that mountain.
Wow.
During this time,
During-
that
This is dead in the middle of town.
Yeah, he had a blue tarp up.
I found him looking for Richard.
In the beginning, yeah, we thought we found Richard, but Larry found the homeless man.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
find some comic relief somewhere.
There, I sent it to you, Allison. That I can't get that to zoom
Yeah, so
in.
this was where he was found. It was right across. Well, where he was living. Also, it's right across from where the hospital is, right? And like behind where Roses used to be.
Behind
Or
Rose.
maybe still is.
Behind Rose's Grants area.
I have family that live there. I've spent a lot of time there.
Queen of Kings said, "Is it believed that he had carved the names right before he passed?"
I
They'd
don't
been there a
know.
while.
I don't know. I know his wife said they were out there that day talking, looking, just sitting.
He had carved the names previously.
Oh, Brianna said, "I still think she looked into this, and she's I'm on our channel now. She said, I still think he was placed back there. I can't make sense of anything else." She said, "Had to look in my notes. I knew I had this one." So there's a lot of people that are paying attention to this more than you think. So that's all.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to get people in trouble,
But you want to
I
know.
was told, the wife told me her husband was a firefighter on the scene, and he and the rest of the crew said absolutely not, that he was placed there.
Yeah. Well, and everybody wants to know that their family member means something to, and people are paying attention, and care. It's a bad feeling to think nobody cares about somebody that you love in this type of situation.
Back to about him being placed there. I just feel like that makes the most logical sense. I don't see, especially with the other body being found so close to him. And didn't that guy go missing months after Richard?
That guy just been disappeared maybe 2 weeks prior or something.
That's what I thought. It wasn't very long.
Said him about 2 weeks. His parents kicked him out of the house like 2 weeks prior. I don't know how long he'd been missing. His parents kicked him out of the house 2 weeks prior.
So what are the odds of him ending up in that same place?
Exactly.
It sounds like somebody has done something, and they were like, "Well, we got away with it this long. Let's put them." And then they did something again. They're like, "Well, let's put them right down there where that." That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, that's.
They thought it would be a place nobody would find them.
Or they put them there so somebody would find them. So we would stop digging.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like it kind of seems like
so
that.
happened. The guy that found him just happens to be cousins to one of the suspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Sort of seems like maybe. Well, and the same one
to air suspects. I don't know what the law enforcement has, but to the family suspects.
Brianna said, and another not too far away in a burnt car as well.
Yeah. Where was that?
I did. She said,
which one is that?
Brianna, which one is that with him? She said within weeks.
Yeah, might be in Whitewood or in that area.
Well, there was how many did you say? How many people did they find right around this time?
So there was a guy that was about 30 minutes away in another county, our neighboring county, and
Yeah.
he lived in Whitewood, which is sort of it's not the same county, but it's really close to us. And but so that might be who she's talking about. I'm not really sure. No, I think they said they found him on the river. There was two girls that were couples. Yeah, a couple were found, but they found out what happened to them, or suppose they arrested a lady for that. But
Okay.
there was a guy in Whitewood, and there's Myra Ramey. Of course, everybody knows about her, I think, because Doug even covers her. No thanks. He's covered
Yeah.
her case a few times. Then there's
I didn't know
Richard.
that.
Brandon Schools is another one. Brandon Michael Schools. And Rebecca Stacy was the girl they found under the bridge, and it wasn't a river; it's just a little creek under the bridge now.
Dale, I'm sorry if I didn't. Dale Morgan, I didn't see your comment. What are you? What? I'm sorry.
Okay, Ryan Dye.
He's missing.
He's missing now.
He's been missing.
Oh, how long has he been missing?
6 months.
For about 6 months or a year. Yeah, people just disappear. Keep disappearing around here. And it's a good place to do it. It's a good place to make somebody disappear.
Oh, yeah,
It is. Well, that's been happening for. I think what's happened now is since all these cases have been hitting high profile cases around here and stuff that now, I mean, how many times have we, where people I grew up with, I've heard people say, "I'll take you up there and put you in a put you up in a old coal mine up there, and they'll never find you."
Yeah,
I mean, I've
heard
heard
that
people
said.
say,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there was a guy named Eric Smith that just, God bless his soul, and his mom, his family, 9 or 7. Okay, yeah, 9 years ago. I told you about him. His mom told me that she didn't care who knew it. The FBI offered to come in and help search for him, and they told the FBI they had it under control. That was 9 years ago, and he was not into nothing nefarious ever in his life. He was just a coal miner that had kids and a wife, and anyway, and that's what everybody said, is that he's in a mine somewhere. I've heard that. And actually, the family went to search the mines that they got a tip that he was in, and the day after they searched it a little bit, they sealed it off. The police sealed it off, so they never could search again.
Lucas said, make sure you video cops at all times for your safety, for proof of what was said. Know your rights. Too many tyrants in LE. Very true.
Thank you. Yes, after this, we'll definitely be recording everything.
Aaron Chase said something about his body being
Put my mom and my brother in the cop car with no oxygen.
Oh yeah. They've already come to her brother's and mom's house, and and the worst part is, I loved the chief of police here. I thought that man walked on water, didn't I? Yeah, and so I have not been mad. I have been hurt because I really thought that he cared and would do his. And I'm not gonna say he ain't done his best, but I just think that he's not.
Me and you went and talked to him.
We went and talked to him for a few hours, and he told us that day that they knew that he was deceased, and they just didn't know where. But anyway, I think he was just getting his briefing from whoever every day, and that was it. And they didn't search. But the bottom line is, the only thing I know is they never searched nothing. And if they would have searched one day, if he was really there, he would have been found. If they'd have brought some of those scent dogs out, that's what they did. Brandon Schools. 2 weeks after they found Richard, I feel like the police.
A cadaver dog. One time, a cadaver dog.
Yep. And I feel like that's why they searched for him. Maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, they searched for him and found him within a few hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours, his sister said.
Allison had a good thing. What were you going to say about what did Aaron Chase say?
Aaron Chase said that maybe if he had been planted, that his clothes could have been hosed off, which is a possibility.
We thought wrapped in something.
But just what I'm saying, where everything in his pockets was so dirty, but his clothes weren't as dirty.
Yeah, they wouldn't wash the dirt out of his pockets, but it would wash it off his
clothes.
I don't know. You know what happens? You lay in bed at night And for
Yeah.
till 4 o'clock in the morning, you're still laying there going round and round in your head, imagining every scenario. Like I said, that like within the days before that, I laid there and prayed and prayed and prayed we'd find him before a year, and we did. We found him
Right.
like a few days later.
Okie dokie, Steph said if it's still in,
Today he went missing exactly 1 year.
The what? Oh yeah, we got his remains back exactly 1 year from the day he disappeared.
Wow.
What did that guy say?
no, she said they said if it's still an open investigation pending the final autopsy report, why would they release any of his belongings?
It's
And
not.
if they are,
They're
yeah.
done. They're done.
Yeah. Closed it.
He
They-
basically made the statement he's retiring in 2 years and all of his cases would be closed.
Why not have? They said why not release all his belongings? I'm wondering if the person whoever done whatever left his belongings there at this point, because
Mhm.
because we have got everything back except for those things.
It's like that's kind of fishy too, right there, because it's somebody's sat and been like, they really because they don't make nothing here makes sense. If somebody they really had to think about that, we got to take everything out there, make sure that everything you had, regardless, even if I don't know, I can't even make no sense of it.
There
No,
was 2 fillet knives. There was actually 4 supposed to be in the book bag, and they found 2 fillet knives on the ground taped together. So therefore, that tells me, they really might not have even took a book bag back, but they said in his wallet there was money. So they put money back in his wallet to make it look like he fell.
Yeah. Wow.
but they haven't
Well,
come
guys,
off with no wallet yet, so I don't.
They said it was released with the clothes, and it wasn't.
Yeah, we didn't get it. And the clothes, they clearly just took him to the hospital, took the clothes off, threw them in a black trash bag, and sent them with him. And then the medical examiner sent him back and the clothes and untouched. Basically, I think they just told the medical examiner, take a look at it. I think he fell, And we
Yeah.
want to close this case. Especially they wanted to close the case after they found him so close, because
Right.
that's sort of a bad look.
Somebody said, Sticky said, WTF is that? Knives taped together?
Yeah, that's
The 2 blades were taped together. That way they wouldn't stick him, I guess.
that way they wouldn't stick him. I think is how he kept them. So
Oh, okay.
they're stuck together, so they wouldn't
I
stick
think
him.
that she was taking it like how maybe that somebody did that. Oh, okay.
No, he was a survival. He was a survivalist. Like he fished.
Okay.
You've got those videos. Share some of them if you want to, or
I
go back and
will.
look at them. Everything he did, not the one that I sent you. Just the videos of like his. But anyway, every picture, everything. He is in the woods or fishing, ain't he? And every that's what he done. He loved it. Yeah, he loved it. He loved it. He loved nature. He loved fishing. I mean,
Wasn't scared nothing.
yeah. He told me that was the best times of his life was when he was out under bonfire, or, just sitting around watching the kids grow, is what he told me, and camping and fishing and working every day and coming home to a family. I mean, he told me that he was happier than he'd ever been. At that, it is.
I work for a coroner preparing inquests, and these cases make no sense.
She said, "Oh wow."
What'd you say?
You didn't. You got to speak up now.
I said, just my thoughts. Said I worked for a coroner preparing inquests, and these cases make no sense.
I don't. So okay, we're at an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you start losing people's interest at that point.
Well, no, it's not. Well, I want to do this again because when we plan it out, we'll have better. We can go from this one and put it together. We'll do another one maybe later this week. Like I said, let this die down in YouTube, everything else that's going on, and we'll talk about it again. But thank you guys so much.
Thank y'all.
Yes. And we will, and we're going to be praying for y'all. When I close this one out, we'll say a prayer for you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming on, and we're gonna keep talking about this. Hopefully, make a difference. And I'll reach out to
Well,
some people.
even if you don't make a difference, you've tried.
Well, Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty dedicated. I'm not going to give up.
No.
Thank
So
you.
and I'm sorry that I didn't come down there earlier when this happened. I feel like we could have done something. Knowing where he was now makes like I
Yeah.
just wish we would have come
I
down.
do too.
Golly.
But we
That's
still
what the other lady told me, but she was denied, so she couldn't,
Yeah.
Yes. When they first done that first video, they kept talking, wanting to come down, but they kept getting tied up down there.
Summer.
Mhm.
Yeah. We were down at, that was at the same time we were going down and doing searches in Summer's case, so it was a lot. But guys, thank you again so much. I'll let y'all get off here and I'll close this show out and we'll do it again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you guys. See y'all.
Thank you.
All right, guys, listen, thank y'all for being here. I know that there's so much craziness going on in YouTube. We got to change this. I mean, the attention is on so much craziness on Summer's case. That stuff that I feel like it's just stuff that doesn't it's just, it makes no sense. No drama. There's no proof behind it. And then you've got cases like this right here that have had no attention at all. When they found his remains, they did a short little clip on the news about it, and that was it.
even when he went missing, they only did a short little clip on the news, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because we didn't even know about it. We had no idea. And we have the same news that they have there. So it's just sad.
You talk about Summer, you have 1,000 people in here. You talk about Richard's case just now, we had 111 people, 121 at one time. But it's okay. We got 121 people that are listening and paying attention to what matters. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to continue to do other cases around here. We're gonna hopefully uncover what's going on and why these cases aren't being solved in the time they should have been.
Why they're just being swept under the rug.
We're going to bring attention to it. It has to be. Let's pray. Let's get out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this family coming forward and speaking about their family member's case. Lord, we ask that Richard gets justice. We ask that Summer gets justice. We ask that Michael Vaughn gets justice. And we ask that the truth comes to light, that this evilness is we rebuke it. Lord, thank you so much for everything you do in our lives. And Lord, let us be faithful to you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Guys, remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
We will catch you on the next live.
See ya.